A game of cards, Roy? Go on. What are you going to play?
So here Noel is trying to dislodge and take down this single beam that is crossing the roof space. There was no need for it, and it's just in the way. And then he can get to look at the cross beams that you can see above. They're the original ones, and he just wants to see what kind of state they're in. On the whole, they've not been too bad. He's found, I think, 2 that need to be replaced because they've got woodworm. But generally, it's in quite good condition, is the roof, and we want to keep as much of it as we can, just to keep the cost down, really. The other thing to mention is that we want those cross beams to outline the shape of the new ceiling. So it'll be a heightened ceiling. The wall will go up vertically and then at a slant diagonally and then across horizontally, if you know what I mean. So there'll be a diagonal slant at each side at the top of the ceiling, and that will just make it feel a little bit more spacious and airy.
So up here in the roof space, we have the world's biggest TV aerial. It must have been a hell of a job getting a signal when this was fitted. It's vast. It's the sort of thing that nowadays is used to communicate with satellites in outer space. Hopefully we won't need that with modern technology. I'll just show you this beam where it's obviously had some worm there. It doesn't look totally infested. It's obviously had some mould and worm. And let me just show you how much weaker that makes it. There you go. So that is obviously not fit for purpose now. It needs to come out. I'll jiggle that out in a sec. That's the rotten tie taken out. There's no danger there with the beams because there's still this bottom timber from the lowered roof that's in there, so I'll leave that in place till I've got the new tie-in above. I'm just going to put some little blocks on so I can rest the new piece of timber when I'm taking it up. Put some little blocks on there just to rest on. My timber mark now. Very steep pitch, this roof, for an old house. Well, maybe not for an old house, but for a modern house, it's a very steep pitch. Almost 45 degrees. So this is my new length of timber. I have here, got a spare one. There might be another one needs replacing at some point up there. I've marked the length. I've made a template now of the angle that I want to cut. I'll get that marked on the timber. Goes here. I'll get that marked up, cut that out. Do the same at the other end. Stick one at the other end. there we go. There's our new bit of timber, nicely fitted in. Different spacing obviously now, because it's on the outside of the beam. There was no way of getting it on the inside of the beam without taking tiles out, so I'm not doing that at this stage. We can always make amends if it causes a problem later on. I'm sure it won't. I might just bang some bigger screws in there now before I finish, and job done. Lovely. Thankfully there was no evidence of the rot having spread to any other beams, or the worm hasn't spread to any other beams, but everything will be getting sprayed at some point anyway. So all these beams will be getting a good spraying with preserver and woodworm treatment. Keep them good for another 100 years hopefully.
Since Sid and I returned to the UK, this is how it's been working for Noel and I. We've just been talking a lot on WhatsApp and sometimes video calling, so he can give me a little sort of tour around, show me what's been happening, what's changed. Oh, I think this was just a delivery of something there that happened that day. I can't quite remember what it was. Some blocks, I think. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, here he's just taking me inside the house and showing me the progress, showing me the back wall, and also, oh yeah, he's just showing me in here to what he's been doing with, removing the... Gosh, that looks a bit of a mess. I think that was when he removed the chimney and he was letting it all fall down on the inside. Some of you have been asking about the chimney actually, and you know, why are we not keeping the chimney? Really, it's because we're not going to be using it. It takes up a huge amount of space, and it's just really like having a big block of stone in the middle of your house that you don't need. You know, which just isn't, it's just not good really, because it's only on kind of underpinned, but we want to lay a new foundation, so we don't want to be laying the foundation around a load of stone, a big lump of stone that we don't even want to use and shouldn't need to be there. So that's really our reason for getting rid of the chimney. I mean the chimney breast on the inside. The chimneys have already gone, as you know. Yeah, it's just the amount of space that huge fireplace took up, and we just need the space. So that'll all be coming out for us to lay a foundation. I'd step back if I was you, unless you're wearing a hard hat. Here's the inside of said chimney breast, and all the rubble from this needs to be removed.
Yesterday I took this part of the wall down just so we could expose the whole of the back wall here. These beams will be coming out. Unfortunately, when I was recording it was all very exciting. This is what happened on my phone. Nothing recorded, unfortunately. So that was a bit upsetting, but we still have more walls to go at. So we have a repeat performance on this side today, and hopefully we'll get some footage of that. So first of all, just carry on having a big tidy up, try and get rid of all this mess. This roof truss here is built into the chimney, so whether it was cut down afterwards or anything, it's short there. So I'm going to just put a brace in here, across from here, across to there, and then up onto this beam, just to keep that in place for now. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but I'll put a brace in anyway. Just a quick bit of frame in there, just to hold that loose spar in the middle. It's not permanent, it's just there, just to support it, because obviously it doesn't run all the way up to the ridge beam at the moment, but it will in the end. Whether I take it out and replace it or extend it remains to be seen, but that'll hold it for now. So tonight, meal for one. No Sid, no Jill. Roy's still here though, aren't you, Roy? You're still here. Roy, what should we do tonight? What should we do tonight? Should we have a game of cards? Okay. What are you going to play there? Not bothered, are you? What are you going to play? I'd play the 9 if I was you.